What's up, everybody? It's Meech. You're tuned into On the Radar, where we cover health, fitness, and tech. Currently on the radar is the Canon M50 mirrorless camera. I want to run down the specs so you can know what this camera is about, you can know what it does, and then I want to get into my personal thoughts, pros and cons after using this camera for a month. There is a link in the description if you want to check it out. First, it's an entry-level mirrorless camera. It has a 24 megapixel sensor. It shoots in 4K, a Digit 8 image processor. It has a large APC-S sensor. It has 143 autofocus points, eye detection, autofocus, flip screen, a LP20 battery, mic input, dual auto pixel, autofocus. It can record in 120 frames per second. It does time lapse. It shoots in C-RAW, which is a compressed RAW, which means it makes the RAW file smaller, but it maintains the high resolution. You can take pics in silent mode, so you won't hear the shutter noise in a situation where you need to be quiet. It also can use Wi-Fi connection to transfer files from your phone or computer. It also does time-lapse recording. There's a whole bunch, there's a few more other features, but I'm not going to get into all of that. It's just kind of a lot. Let's kind of move on, right? It's a mirrorless camera. Well, for those that don't know, a mirrorless camera, basically, to simplify everything, it allows more light to come into the sensor, and more light means a better picture. And because there's not a mirror inside the camera, it allows you to make a smaller camera, so you don't have, so it's not the size of a big giant DSLR. I'm not really going to get into all that though. It's a little too complex and too, yeah. The thing with me is I don't personally get hype every time a new camera comes out. I generally stick to what I have as long as it's doing what I need it to do. Just because a camera comes out and has new features and new shiny bells and whistles, it doesn't really mean that I need it. But I like to pay attention and check it out and just at least know what's going on. But that's something definitely to think about. Just because something's new don't mean you have to have it. That'll come back later, right? Pay attention. If you have a Nikon or even a Canon DSLR and you want to switch to like an M50 or even another camera, you have to take into account what that usually means. What that usually means is you have to buy all new lenses, batteries, other accessories due to capability issues. One thing with the Canon M50, you can actually purchase an adapter mount, which allows you to use your DSLR lenses, but still you're looking at an additional $200 for the adapter. So just again, something else to think about. I like the white shell just because it's different from the normal black body shells of, a lot of the DSLR, a lot of the cameras in general. It's small and light. It makes it very easy to vlog. It makes it very easy to transport. It's small enough to just throw in your pocket and go around, depending on what lens you have on it. I like that if I'm in the car vlogging, I can just stash it in my console or the glove compartment if I need to run out of the store. Usually with my DSLR, I have to like cover it and hide it, and just, I don't like to just obviously just leave it on the seat. So the M50 is very easy to conceal. It's a very, very powerful camera in a small body, but there are some drawbacks. We're going to get into some of those drawbacks. The 4K feature is cool, but it lacks auto tracking, and it definitely has a crop with the 4K. A crop basically means, for those that don't know, it minimizes the area of the picture that you can get into the frame. This is a good example if you're going from this to you're going to this. Perfect example of a crop. It's always better to be able to control how much of that crop that you want in a shot. So like that's where the zoom and the, fixing your focus comes in, and your setting your frames, I should say, comes in. And when you can't control that, then you're limited to what you can do, and it's frustrating sometimes. It does offer dual pixel autofocus, which is great for quickly getting your shots in focus, especially when you're in an environment where you're shooting a lot of movement and you're moving around. It'll keep everything in focus. The dual pixel autofocus does not work in 4K mode. I don't like that. The battery life isn't great, so you definitely have to pick up a few extra batteries. The mic jack, although it's great that they have it in there, it's in a bad position because it gets in the way of the swivel screen. I had to learn how to maneuver and work around it, but it's very, very annoying. It's just in an awkward spot. Also, the mic port is very hard to open. You have to like pry it open with something. If you don't have nails, I ain't got nails. I'll be chewing my nails. I ain't got nails. I can't just stick my nails in there and get it out. You gotta stick something in there. I don't know why they did it like that. Like, what are you doing, Canon? What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't like it. You have to shoot in 720p in order to get slow motion video. That don't make sense either. Who shoots in 720 anymore? I'm confused, Canon. I'm confused. It's like with this camera, they almost had it. They was like right there. Then they said, you know what I think it is? I think because they're coming out with the other mirrorless camera that's actually, I think it's out now, and they got some other stuff coming. I think they're like, all right, we can't give you everything because then you're not gonna want to buy the stuff that we coming out with. I see what y'all doing. I'm not really feeling it, but I be paying attention. So you really can't get one over on me. But sticking to the topic, it does suck though that, you know, like I said, nobody shoots in 720 anymore. The battery and the memory card is at the bottom of the camera, and that is a big problem if you have it mounted to a tripod. If you need to change either one of them, you have to unmount everything. That happens to me so many times. It drove me crazy. That for me was like a deal breaker. I just don't want this camera because of that. It's annoying. I couldn't do. Why, Canon? Why? Seriously though, several times I had to unmount my camera because I had to access, you know, either the card or the battery. That really drove me nuts. Another big problem is that there's no audio display meter on the screen, so it's impossible to monitor your audio levels unless you have somebody behind the camera with headphones on, plugged into the headphone jack, monitoring your audio levels. And for most of us, that's just not. It's not happening. We don't have a whole audio team and technicians and people with us. It's just usually us and the camera. And especially if you're vlogging, then it's just definitely all you. You got the camera all in your face, and you just don't know. You just don't know. You just don't know. It sucks. I don't like that. That's really, really a problem for me. You have to really know what you need out of your camera. For instance, if you're not really into, if you don't really care about shooting in 4K, then cool. If you may be more into shooting video and not really so much into pictures, so you, well, no. If you're into more shooting pictures and you're not really a video person, then you won't really care about the mic jack situation, the 4K, the audio issues. You won't care about that. So definitely know, you know, find the camera that works for you and what you need, you know, what you have going on. Don't just get stuff because it's popular and it's new and everybody's talking about it and everybody has it. So that's basically it. That's just my feedback. You know, check it out for yourself. Like I said, link in the description. It's just not going to work for me. So till next time, stay focused, stay fit. Please hit that like button, show your support. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified the next time something else pops up on the radar. Salute.